Okay, now what I want to do is work on the bass line. So I've soloed the bass line, as you can see here. It says bass right there. We're going to work on the bass line. I'm going to press play for when the bass line starts. Now I've got this setting here. This is sort of like a flat setting from my library menu. And it's not really flat. No, it's just like it's flat there. But you'll notice here I've also taken out the the low mid frequency, the low mid, the low mid frequency, the mid frequency, and the high freak. So look, here we go. So I click that in, see what happens? It's coming up. See, I click right here, it's coming up. So what this is sort of like a EQ I'm using. I'm not using EQ. I'm actually trying to get this low pass filter going on here. So that low end passes right through to get a nice, really cool sound here. And I'll press play. If I bypass it, you notice a slight difference, not much. Okay, so what I want to do though is I want to pick a bass EQ. It's going to work for me. So I'll click here on bass guitar. Now, even though this is done on a synthesizer, I think it was like a Yamaha we did, Yamaha Motif ES. Here I have several different EQs I can use. Now we'll start here with this add subs 2. Let's add some sort of sub bass. You can see right here what happens here when I pull this add subs 2 up. We're getting a lot more low end here. See the purple line here, right here? And this is also cued in a little bit. See, it's a 1.0 Q. So that means we're getting this little round edge here. We're not getting so much at the bottom. We're going to get this right here. And this is the peak of where that bass is going to hit right there. And that is up approximately 3 dB. As you can see here, according to this line, from between 6 and 0. Now I'll press play. We get more of the bass line going on. Now, that's just a little boost right there. And more boost of the bass, but you can also see there's no boost of any of the elements. So mostly all bass line. Now this can be cool for reggae. And my problem sometimes is that, of course, as I said before, we're going to make sure you can hear this on any system. So you want to make sure that if it's on smaller speakers, you can see here, smaller speakers don't respond to 100 cycles. You know, they're not going to respond to 100 right here. But your bigger speakers will. Now in cars today, some guys got these booming systems. They can hear it. They go past your house, you can hear it booming because they're able to get those lower end ranges in. So here, I always make a comparison between this and a kick drum. But first I want to find the right bass sound I want to use. So I'm going to go back here again. We'll look at subs 2. You'll see how this is now the same setting, just doubled. So here this is the add subs, and this one is 6 dB up. It's going to be a lot more bass here. You can hear that. It's a lot more bass. I prefer this for a reggae track somewhat and bring it down somewhat and sort of tame it so it's not too loud and it's within the mix. Now, you can also do on your plugin, you can always bring your output down. See, keep your bass where you want it at maybe, and then bring your output down so you don't want to collide too much with anything else. So here, I'm going to go down again, and I'm going to select something I really want to use, probably maybe this warmth. Now, so here in warmth, you'll notice that warmth is more of a low mid frequency. Not a low end, but a low mid. So it gives a little more warmth to it. So we're getting some of the mid frequency, a little bit of the low frequency, but more of the low mid frequency, which will give us more warmth to the overall bass line. But it's dominating the drums, it's dominating everything. But it doesn't sound bad. So what I might want to do is we'll say bring it down, but in my case, I'm going to probably bring down the output first. And make the comparison of how this bass line sounds and gels with that kick drum. We don't want it to dominate too much. We want to make sure it's right there. So play it back. Still too much for me somewhat. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to try one more setting, which I've been checking out a little early. This is a bass monster. Someone tames the bass, gives me some low end, high, as you can see right here. This EQ setting offers you a little of the bottom with about a 2 dB increase off the bottom end. but it happens at about 148 hertz, okay? And we're also decreasing the mid a little bit. We'll play this back somewhere. We'll play it back without the drums. I like this song has a little growl to it still. And you also know we have some of this mid frequency going on. And this will work also in other systems as well. And it's sort of an R&B jazzy track, so I'm gonna make sure I stick within the range of what I'm doing, so I can make sure it has that feel. Then I'll play the drums now. Not bad, I like this. I'll bring it down. And sort of blend it into the track. So no matter what, I still hear it. Once you get a bass line you like, you want to make sure it matches that kick drum. Because the only two elements are going to be in this whole track, no matter what you do. No, unless you got like this real low bottom end subwoofer that use a lot in reggae or in hip hop. You're only going to have maybe 2 kick drums, a bass line, and maybe this low bottom end once in a while. And that's all. Just to make sure they don't collide. None of the bass elements within your music should never collide. But they should match and should blend together to give it that unique sound where they have that feel, where they're all as one instrument, you know? It's important to do. So let's play it back one more time. So I still hear it's right there in the mix, and I can compare the EQs. I've got this EQ here. I'll go to my EQ for the kick drum. You'll see here, not much of this low end. We're not using much of this low frequency right here. You don't see any purple right here. It's mostly the mid-range pump. So we get more of the punch from the kick drum, and we're getting more of the, see this purple right here, more of the lower end for the bass line. So when you play it again here, we get that bass line a little bit underneath the kick drum. And we get a really cool blend between the bass drum and the bass line.